Simon, you're a larger-than-life person in the industry.
No, that's your way of saying chubby.
Okay, but it's not all about you. Who do you look up to? Who do you admire in the estate agent and letting
My
agents?
God, you're asking a narcissist what he thinks of other people.
Okay, so let's assume.
Okay, I'm not a sociopath, and I care about.
Okay, so I know you love yourself. So you're number one.
Yeah.
So let's who else do you look up to?
Who else is on the plinth?
And I'm talking about estate agents, letting agents, suppliers,
Yeah,
awards
yeah.
people, anyone. Just who do you look up to and why? Because there's some people out there that I think could follow these people.
Well, if you're not looking, and they will kick me in for calling them the elder statesman of the industry.
I prefer the word wise.
You go, well, and that's why you're successful, and I'm obviously a pariah. But people like Dale Norton from Romans. I mean, the execution of that man, the detail of that man, the business that he's built, and in his personal empire he's got now. I don't think I don't think anyone can replicate that to these days. And having had the fortune to work with him and the likes of Vince Courtney, another amazing one, was one of the proudest moments of my life. And it was one of the first things, what do Romans do? Secondly, then working on to the other side, Peter Rawlings, Peter Rawlings at M&P. The fact that he even knew I existed, mainly because he used to run away from me at every awards ceremony, was exceptional. So lucid, so knowledgeable about the whole thing. Was absolutely great. I think then you've got people like, the obvious ones, people like Sean Newman, who have obviously just done huge amounts. Sean. Well, it's impossible not to. He's got problems going through metal detectors now, but that's a symptom of him being 90% metal. You've got, I think, on the supplier side, so, people always said I was the face of REAPIT, but I think, again, Susie at Ravensworth, I know she's left there, but she was absolutely synonymous and the most loyal person I can think of in the industry. And one that just genuinely, having got to know the guy quite well as well, is Miles Shipside over a right move. I mean, they often get accused.
He's so smooth, isn't he?
He's absolutely...
He used to be my boss's boss.
Is that right?
Yeah, he came in one day in a linen suit, just been for a shower or something, and he just came in with his flaring. Oh, God.
Well, that was, we did the Snowden thing the other day, and he kind of drove in, and it was like, it was just it defined schmooze. But I think the thing about him is
he didn't walk up; he hovered. He
dragged me. He was he really, in terms of being the face of Right Move, and as well, that I think him and, if I remember rightly, him and Ed Mead very much when they were. It was doing On the Market. They had quite a public spat, and I remember Ed putting out something about Right Move, and I saw Ed reply a few minutes later on Twitter that whatever else their disagreements, Miles had seen the tweet and had phoned him up directly to just talk to him about what his concerns were, his particular complaint. I thought, you're the commercial director of a multi-billion-pound company. Not many that would even open themselves up to that. But that, for me, is the difference between it, and it's that...
Miles old school, I like.
It is, it's old school. And actually, those are many of the values that I really respect. So people like Michael Stoop, who, again, just gentlemen there. These are people... these are people that I just think just so lucky to have ever worked with. And even just kind of got to know. So yeah, you can't put together a one. I tell you what, I will say on this though is that one of the things that I have set my mind to do is I am writing a book, and it's not going to be a book about the top 100 agents or anything like that, but it's genuinely going to be one about the top 100 people within the industry that I have just found most interesting over there, and add hopefully whatever little thing, because I think that's the. I know everyone thinks their industry is interesting. It's not. I went to a conveyancing conference the other day. Let me just tell you now, it really isn't. This industry is absolutely crazy, and I mean that with in the best possible way. And from that becomes obviously these great characters that are in it. And I know, I hope that it continues. It certainly seems to be. You get a bit worried, don't you, that it's all getting a bit bland and everything else out there. But as you said, people like John Paul pop up, Perry Power. The young blood is coming through, as it were. I can't believe I'm saying that at the sprightly age of 45.
I think John Paul's just made past 40 now, so he's in our age.
He's all right. He's in that horrible demographic where you have to go, oh God.
when you're over 40, you've got to go for a wee halfway through the night. I think the problem is you still feel
That's the
20 up here, mate,
definition.
don't you? Is there anyone else?
I don't think so. I mean, sorry, there's too many today. I mean, genuinely, as I said, it's, I could go through. I think people that don't, shout about it from the hilltops as well. But people like Lyndon Bent down at Bradley's, absolutely. Anyone who's ever dealt with Lyndon knows what a gentleman he is. And in terms of what a great business they've got there. But these are, I keep coming back to it. These are people that if you always judge your friends, don't you? Or you can tell friends by how they see other people. So, whether it's them, whether it's larger than life Eric Walker, if somebody says, I like one of those, I kind of know I'm going to get on with them from the start, isn't it? There, so it's not too bad.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.